Good day. My friends, let's get down to business. I have so much to say, so much to bring you up to speed about, and so much for you to pay attention to. First, I want to say something to you before we get into the political end of this. I want to say something to you as a friend and somebody who cares about you. And I just want to give you a nice little hint. I am not one to lecture. Believe it or not, I don't do that. It was reported today, or maybe yesterday, that Ray Liotta, who died last year at the age of 67 of some type of series of problems, died from, among others, atherosclerosis. And I've been reading some stories about how they say this is a silent killer, and they're talking about blockage, and they're using terms of blockage, and yes, but they're not really explaining this to you. Let me see if I can do something, and I want you to listen very carefully. 750, 800,000 deaths per year are preventable via diet as they deal with primarily coronary artery disease. Coronary artery disease, that could be completely and absolutely prevented by lifestyle and primarily diet. Lifestyle, diet, medication to an extent in some cases, but diet. And nobody wants to address this. And they have this idea that somehow your coronary arteries, remember corona is a crown, the way it surrounds your heart like a crown, that coronary arteries get clogged like, imagine if this is a coronary artery, just like if this was by the way, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a cardiologist. Let me just say this. Please see your doctor. Please see someone who is your physician. Don't take it from me. I'm a lawyer. I don't know anything about it. I know a lot about this, but I'm not one of these people who knows everything. But let me just tell you what I know. And please verify this. This is the lumen. This is the empty part, if you will, of your coronary artery. And inside, imagine inside, right inside, there's this wonderful piece called the endothelium. It's this magic carpet. It's about a cell thick, and it is this part that surrounds the inner core, the bore, surrounds the lumen of this. Through diet, through fat, cholesterol, and LDL, and all of this gunk and it basically breaks through this. Imagine this. I'm giving you an image, and the mechanics may not jibe, but the image will help you understand it. It goes through this, goes underneath the endothelium, and it starts to become inflamed, like a zit. Okay? Think of it like a zit, like a pimple. And it starts to become red and inflamed and pus-filled, and it starts to grow. And it forms this little bubble, this little pocket, this little inflamed area. And it starts to rise. It's not that zit, if you will, that inflammation, is not encased by much, maybe a cell or two. And as blood passes by this raised area, it maybe knocks off a cell, maybe knocks off a portion of that capsid, that cap, whatever you want to call it, and then boom, that's the clot. That's the death. That's it. Soft plaque. It's that loose stuff. That's what scares people. Not necessarily the clogged. I'm not saying, please, I'm not saying don't worry about that. Caldwell Esselstyn has showed one time a coronary artery that basically was filled with one little hole, one little area that allowed the only aperture. But because the plaque was stable, because it wasn't loose, it was like concretized. It was like Chernobyl. Person didn't die from that at all. There are old people who die. They have that. It's not necessarily the blockage, though I'm not telling you not to worry about that. It's this soft, unstable plaque that gets the clots. And it's basically this. All right. 14 years ago, people around me are kicking. I'm on the back nine. I'm thinking to myself, this is not, I don't like this. I got to change. I know. I don't care. I'm the biggest carnivore in the world. I'm not paying attention. I'm believing all this stuff about, the French diet and the butter. And right. That's nonsense. There may be some folks, and by the way, the people who have the real, who really should worry about it, they're not fat. See, there's no marker for this. I mean, you can even have calcium scoring done. It may not show anything. You can get an EKG. You can get a yearly physical, and EKG's fine. You never had a heart attack. Okay. You do a stress test. You're okay. And believe it or not, if you listen to Esselstyn and others and Ornish and remember the days of Pritikin, oftentimes the first signal, the first symptom of coronary artery disease is death. 800,000 people dying every year, more than anything. More than anything, number one. And it's preventable, but we talk ourselves out of this. We just know you don't understand. See, because meat is, and okay, fine, it's a free country. All I'm saying is simply this. While everybody is talking about Ray Liotta and the silent killer in atherosclerosis, do yourself a favor. At least consider changing drastically what you're eating. It's not fun to think about not eating something. And it's not just about losing weight, though you will. It's about saving lives. Now, I don't know how I got to tell you this. I do it not because I love it. I love that lifestyle. I dream of barbecue, but I don't want to eat it. I'm not going to do it. 14 years. I've got the blood levels of an infant, and I've got to give it up. I do. And there's something about it, believe it or not, odd as it may sound, I like the idea that I'm conquering something. I'm not doing, I did this. You may want to run a marathon. Good for you. And by the way, diet is more important than exercise. That's my opinion. It's just me. Just all I'm going to tell you. Nobody is going to make you do it. You're going to talk yourself out of it. I've got this one friend of mine, she just loves to talk about bacon. It's like, okay. Listen, freedom, free will, you do whatever you want. But if you are serious, if you're thinking, you know what, please pursue it on your own. Go to nutritionfacts.org, the China study, just read. Look at what people are doing around the rest of the world. In 1958, one of my favorite studies. And by the way, it's not just heart disease. In 1958, they looked at the amount of prostate cancer in Japan. Prostate cancer. They did an autopsy. I think they found 18 cases. 18. Not 1,800, not 18,000. 18. This was in 1953. It's different now. Why do you think it's different now? What do you think's different now? What do you think? What do you think changed? What? Diet. The Western diet. There are parts of the world where breast cancer does not exist. There are parts of rural China and Africa where it doesn't exist. Where there is no breast cancer. There is no heart attack. It doesn't exist. Do you understand that? It doesn't exist in places with horrible, there's not proper water and I'm going to say one more thing to you. When it comes to diet, when it comes to exercise, when it comes to different things, we have this tendency of making stuff up. And one of my favorites is this. It's a thing called the Mediterranean diet. I don't know where this came from. I don't know who came up with this idea. But the Mediterranean diet goes something like this. People think that the Mediterranean diet means that if you eat wine and some nuts and some olive oil and pasta and plants and olive oil. Oh, they love that olive oil. Olive oil, because olive oil is good. Olive oil is good fat. It's good fat, good heart healthy. It's good fat. Your body loves that. If you don't have that good fat, you'll die. People believe this, and they came up with this idea. And they don't know the first thing about it. They just know this thing called the Mediterranean diet. They have no idea what it means. The Mediterranean diet. They just say this. And you ask them, you know what the Mediterranean diet is? Yeah, it's which Mediterranean country? There's 22 countries that border the Mediterranean. What are you talking about? I don't know, the Mediterranean diet, the Mediterranean. Okay. Which country was the Mediterranean diet based on? Crete. When? 1953. Ansel Keys. What was interesting about 1953? It was post-World War II. After Germany occupied Crete, they didn't have anything. Livestock, they had to eat plants and berries, and they walked forever, and they were... Was it the diet? Well, maybe, but it wasn't what you think. It was deprivation or privation. How do you think they're doing right now? Back to square one. The Western diet will kill you. The Western diet, what you are eating is killing you. Look at me. It's killing you. And you worry about so many things. You worry about climate change, which is important. You worry about fentanyl, which is not fentanyl, fentanyl. It's very important. You worry about transgender, which is very important. About abortion, very important. You worry about AI, very important, very important. But what about what you're doing to yourself? Well, and then every now and then somebody will say, I don't use aluminum in my floor. That's very good. And my deodorant, that's good. That's as good as it gets. I don't have fluoride in my toothpaste. Good for you. My pineal gland, well, there you go. And they make little concessions, or they'll take vitamins, which is very good. But when it comes to what they eat, it's all good. Moderation. Let me just tell you something. In view of, and nobody's going to care about this, Ray Liotta, the silent killer. Your doctor, if you went to your doctor today, he's going to say, well, just eat moderately. And wait till they crack open your chest. There you go. And now's the time for you to do something. And it doesn't necessarily, it's not, there's no test where they're going to say, well, they can look at inflammation, they can do blood rate. But nobody wants to do this because they have this idea that, well, my grandmother was, and I'm Italian. And one more thing, and I'll let it go because I've been speaking too long about this. In memory of Ray Liotta, and because I love you. People have this idea that they just think that olive oil is the greatest thing in the world because it's 100% fat. It has no nutritional value whatsoever. It has maybe the only vitamins might be a trace of vitamin E. No fiber, no nothing. It's just fat. Calories, fat, and Jeff Novick did a thing where he said if you took a pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, I forget which, and you put it on a salad, a pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream versus, I forget what it was, how much olive oil. The Ben & Jerry's ice cream had less fat, less calories, and more nutrition than olive oil did. And you tell people this, and they say, you don't understand. No, that can't be. You don't understand something. I've been told when I go to a restaurant, they bring me a plate, and they have olive oil in it with some herbs, and no, you don't understand. See, but No, olive oil. It's good for you. It's hard. And you just create this. Okay. Where do you get this from? I don't know where I get this from. It doesn't matter where I just know this. I know it. Nobody's going to make you do this. There's no law against this. And in this world we live in with misinformation, disinformation, that information, everything that's going on, I am telling you that when it comes to you living a better life, you have the tools right here. It's so simple. But people say, no, that's too much work. But a bypass surgery? And they still do those. Not angioplasty, bypass. They're very effective. And one last thing. Remember, when you have one little occlusion, one little problem, it's not just there. There's these things here called carotids. And it's this thing. And your body is being... Last thing, I swear to God, I'm going to stop. After the Korean War, when pathologists had terrible young men who were killed at the prime of their life, they noticed exterior gross observations of coronary artery disease. Vietnam, even worse. They're finding fatty streaks in little kids right now. Fatty streaks. You're going to see coronary artery disease at levels. These kids now, everybody's going to go like this, eh? That's enough. Do what you want. It's a free country. Free will. Nobody can make you take care of yourself. Nobody. And that's the beauty of being an American. Because right now, it may not be written, but you have the right. You have the right to kill yourself. You have the right to basically live lifestyles, do things, drink, smoke, do drugs, get high, whatever you want to do, psych meds. And I would defend your right to do it. Because after all, if self-destruction is not an American right, then what is? And people are going to argue. They're going to argue. Well, I take turmeric. Oh, that's good. Well, cholesterol really is good. That's a myth. Okay, and then they'll start, and it's like, okay, fine. So just whatever. Just say it's up to you. But Ray Liotta, most probably, and I'm no expert, most probably did not have to die. And others as well. I'm going to leave it at that. Who wants some good news? Raise your hand. Who wants some good news? I just did 3 videos right now and I hope you're signing up for these because they are beauts. Can I read you the titles of these? Would you like me to read you the titles? They're really good. Would you like me to? The first one is Newsom dead silent as California Reparations Task Force recommends paying $1.2 million to each black resident. Guess why Gavin Newsom is so scared all of a sudden? Guess. Any idea? Bobby Kennedy Jr. Oh. See, with Pops Biden there was no urgency. Joe Biden, it's no urgency. No urgency. This is Joe Biden. Joe Biden. This is huge. Thank you, Bobby Kennedy. So that's right now. That's available right now at. It's very good. It's in fact, you know what I'll do? I'll give this to you. I'll do you a favor. I'll do you a favor. Because I love you so much. Here it is right now. Here is the link. There you go. Link it. Get it. Here's the second one I did this morning, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It makes so much sense. Biden's desperate and pathetic attempts to push Kamala Harris as AI czarina will be his destruction. Oh, yes. Yes, this is not even a joke. Absolutely. Did you hear what I'm saying? This thing is why Bobby Kennedy Jr. changed everything. No, you don't understand. Here's the link right there. There you go. Right there for you. Right there. Take it. It's yours. Take it. And then finally, here's the best one. Like Vanessa Williams said, you saved the best for last. Americans resoundingly reject Biden after poll shows a catastrophically devastating 36% approval. This is down 6 points from February. This is plummeting. Now, why is this important? Well, it's a couple of things. I'll tell you why. First, and by the way, here we go. Here's that link right there. You're welcome. There, you're welcome. Why is that important? It's important for a number of reasons. Number one, the poll is like Washington Post, WABC, or ABC rather. So if it's 36%, it's even less. If it's 36%, it's even less. Don't think for a moment that this is somehow, they don't know what to do with this. I don't know who these 36%, who are these people? Who are the ones who would say, yes, this is wonderful, this is terrific, thank you. Yes, this is terrific, thank you. Do you understand what this means? Do you understand what this means? Do you understand what this means? It's changed. Everything's changed. Why? Bobby Kennedy Jr. Now listen to me. This is what's important. This is my message to Bobby Kennedy Jr. Huh? Bobby, what are you doing? You know what they're going to do to you? No, not that. They've got more stuff on you than you know what is even possible. Do you understand what I'm saying? Bobby, they've got more on you than you understand what's possible. You don't understand this. You don't understand this. I hope you know what you're doing. They're going to destroy. Your wife will never work. Cheryl Hines, not Connie Hines. She was from, don't forget, Mr. Ed. But Cheryl Hines will never work again. Kryptonite. Radioactive. You want that? Good for you. Because they play dirty, Bobby. They play dirty. Number two, do you know the dirt they have on you? Oh my God. Do you have any idea? And do you know how the Kennedy name doesn't mean anything anymore to anybody? That might have been in the old days, Bobby, but not really now. Not now. Not now. It's not what you think. It really isn't. I'm sorry to say. I mean, it should be, it could be, but it's not. It's not what it used to be. It doesn't matter what it used to be. And they're going to say, okay, well, we've got some pressure we're going to put on your family. Do you know how many Kennedys there are? How many cousins and in-laws and grandkids and I have no, 1,000? I have no idea. But let me explain to you Bobby Kennedy. Bobby Kennedy is Prince Harry. Bobby Kennedy says, I've never been a part of this. I'm not the goody two-shoes of John Jr. I'm not the heartthrob. I've got 1 million kids in my family. What are they, 11? Who knows how many kids? 9, 10, 11? I don't know. I've had problems before in the past. Got problems in my family. I'm not, but I've done things my own way. And I like that about him. And I don't necessarily owe these folks anything. And they turned their back on him. He immediately was the only one smart enough to recognize that the Sirhan story, you might want to look into that. You might want to look into that one. But they're not even interested. They're just like the royals. You think Wills has any interest in what happened to Princess Di, his mother? No. He's a member of the team. He's a member of the team. Oh, he's not interested in that. Harry is. That's one of the reasons why Harry's so messed up. Harry is a freak. Harry doesn't feel a part of it. Harry's got some serious problems. And you may not care about Harry one way or the other, and I understand that. But I'm telling you, That guy's a problem. And that's Bobby Kennedy. By the way, you better like this video. I'm looking at this right now, and this is pathetic. 106 likes? What is the matter with you? 106 likes? You've got to show the world that you're a part of this thing. You're a part of the consortium. You're a part of the conspiratorium. You're a part of the clerisy. You better like this. I got to see those likes go up. We need desperately. If I'm going to compete with the rest of these people with my particular brand of truth, I got to show metrics. I'm sorry, I don't want to be so brutal. But the first thing you do is, how many do you have? Well, this guy sits on his bed and he's got 2 million. Yeah, I know. Well, unless you get 2 million, don't talk to us. That's the way they treat me. What I'm saying is scintillating. It's laser-like. It's like nobody else's business. I'm telling you stuff nobody else is doing, so please like this. That's all I'm trying to tell you. You got to like this en masse, and you got to tell people about this. You and I are freaks. You got to understand something. We don't fit in anywhere. We're not left or right or Republican. You may think you are, but you're not. You're not. I'm telling you. So thank you for this. Keep liking this. I don't want to be so discourteous, but we're so desperate to try to get the message out. Bobby Kennedy Jr., I will write his name in. Bobby Kennedy is more interesting to me than what Trump has said. Trump is just kind of like, Trump has been futzing around for the longest time because all he's talking about is how he lost his election. And he's acting like a damn fool with these cases. Why he didn't even show up? Why he didn't show up to his own sexual battery? He's playing golf in Scotland? You think that makes it? It's that sloppiness. You don't even care about somebody. You don't think you'd be there? But instead you're playing, you're in Scotland? What is the matter with you? You're not done with him. Bobby Kennedy, for whatever he does, whatever else he's done about climate change, I don't know. I'll take him. He's meeting with McGregor. He's talking about various alternative theories as to the Russia-Ukraine thing. I got to be careful with that. Got to be careful. He is straying into areas that both left and right, you are going against the narrative. And what Bobby Kennedy is saying is, I'm a freak. I don't play this game. He's going after Title 42. He's going after transgender, what he thinks are inequities regarding children. And I mean, this is unheard of. Now the Democrats are saying, holy, who's this? Now they're going to get rid of, the plans changed. They were going to take Biden all the way to the top. He was unopposed. There might have been some titular. Gavin Newsom would have never posed any problem. Gavin Newsom says, you don't understand something. I'm just here for the beer. I'm not, whatever you want. So he could play around, because Gavin Newsom, I think, is the most formidable Democrat. Bobby Kennedy is not a Democrat. Bobby Kennedy, listen to me. Bobby Kennedy is to the Democratic Party what Hillary Clinton kind of was. Hillary Clinton wasn't a Democrat. Hillary Clinton was just a craven, corrupt Paul. She was a Tammany Hall version. She was just a boss tweed. Pay me off. Give me I just want the money. I don't care about it. I want to be. She, in many respects, is like Trump. Trump wants to be president. Trump loves being president, not being president and charting policy. And Trump wants an accomplishment, so we can talk about the accomplishment. What a great president I am, as opposed to, look what I did. Look what I did. I changed African American and Asian and unemployment. This is what I did. As opposed to, I'm a great president because I did this thing. You got to understand how this thing works. Bobby Kennedy is freaking people out. He's daring to say that the CIA was about. Wait a minute. Hold it. He is embracing. The man is a walking conspiracy theory, as he would be called, as Wikipedia would call him. This is the greatest thing ever. I'm beside myself. I love this guy. Do you understand what's happening? Do you see this? I don't think you do. I really don't think you understand how things have changed drastically with Bobby Kennedy. It's beautiful. And now Gavin Newsom saying, come here. Gavin, suit up, babe. Hit the deck. Come on, you're next. Why? Pops ain't going to make it. Ben Gertzel just came out. Do you see Ben Gertzel? Have you seen Ben Gertzel? Ben Gertzel, Mr. AI with a hat, with his funky hat. He looks like Jamiroquai on acid. I don't know what the hell he's doing. He's talking about 80% of all jobs being wiped out by AI. And who did they pick? Carmelita Harris. Out of utter contempt for you. Don't you get what's happening here? It's unbelievable. And they're saying, no, 36%. Here comes Bobby. Come on, tee up. Do something. And then Bobby Kennedy's going to say, so, go ahead, Gavin Newsom. I dare you. Agree to that. Sign on to that. $1.2 million per California black resident. I dare you. Come on, Mr. Progressive. I dare you. What's he going to do? This is huge. This is huge. And what are the Republicans doing? Nothing. I mean, it's interesting. Ron DeSantis, and I want California out of Florida. Well, you know what, Ron? You stay there, buddy boy. You stay as a governor of Florida because you're good at that. You know what? You're good. Stay there. We don't want you as president. Stay in Florida. You understand that? Keep doing that. And what's Trump doing? Bobby Kennedy Jr. changed everything. Swear to God. You know who just sounded better to me for the first time? This is how weird things are. You know, it's like sometimes when you say, remember when umami came along? Well, umami always was here, but it's a sweet, savory, but then there's this other thing. You know who sound, and by the way, as soon as they sound good, I'll change my mind. I thought that one of the biggest zeros was Tulsi Gabbard. She didn't say anything to me. She was always on with Tucker, always kissing Tucker. But hello, Tucker. Hello. I'm Tulsi Gabbard. I'm Yvonne DiCarlo. Ladies and gentlemen, hang on. John McGuire couldn't get higher, says, regarding RFK, does he have a team that could execute his policies? What do you think? Of course he does, by the way. You better believe he does. And people like him, Johnny. People like him. They've always had faith in him. And he is so good because he could say, you know what? Hi, listen, I'm kind of crazy. I've always wanted to be a conspiracy theorist, but not with those people. But Bobby makes it cool. All of you folks who've been saying, well, I don't really believe this. Now all of a sudden, this is your guy. You're going to say, well, you know what? As a matter of fact, I've been thinking that for a long time. What? Well, here's my aluminum hat. We don't use tin foil. We use aluminum foil. Bobby Kennedy is breathing life into stuff you never admitted believing or wanting to believe or even interested in. Bobby Kennedy just changed everything. Bobby Kennedy said, he makes it sound cool. Like, well, yeah. So you're saying you believe the CIA was responsible? Yeah. Okay. Well, there you have it. Now, if Trump says it, you go, oh, you're a conspiracy, you're a lunatic. I think he knows a little bit about this. Listen to what he's saying. He's talking to Colonel McGregor. Sounds like in the parlor with a candlestick. This is and the Democrats are going, wait a minute, what is this? Hold it. Who? Wait a minute. Left and right were in lockstep regarding war. 100%. Don't you remember? Bad news, Zelensky. if this guy gets anywhere near the White House, everything just changed. This is the guy who gets to the Democratic nominees and says, "Do you agree what's going on regarding transgender policies? Do you agree with this? Do you?" Well, if you don't, Bobby Kennedy. Okay. Now, that's also going to take a lot of the wind out of the sails of some of the Republicans, because now they're going to have to say, well, Bobby already beat us to it. I'd work on Bobby Kennedy's campaign in a heartbeat because it's exciting. Because I could do more damage. I don't. The Republican Party's through. They're stuck. They're still. They want to talk about Fox News, and it's boring. They just sit back and they just react. Oh no! This is the one I want to work. I want to be a subversive. I'll say I'll be a Democrat. I'll work with Bobby Kennedy. I'll do it. I want to work with Bobby. That's how we bring down the Democrats. Through Bobby Kennedy, not through Trump. Through him. This is the revolutionary. What are you talking about? This is it. He's saying what you're saying. Now, he's going to say some stuff. You're going to go crazy. I don't want you to start talking to me about abortion and all that kind of stuff. Or climate change. Let it go. Don't ruin good in search of the perfect, okay? This is enormous. Do you understand what's happening? Enormous. You think Trump understands AI? No. And there's this guy. I mean, let me tell you something. Politics can change like that. And he is making people like Tulsi Gabbard look smarter. Because they're getting away from this. Let me tell you something. You're not going to believe this. But Tucker's not. Tucker is in so many respects such a phony. I have been telling you for the longest time, he's telling you nothing that's new. He's just saying it through the lens of Fox. So you think it's like, oh, wow. If all of a sudden Lawrence Welk played Dick Dale, you'd think he just got progressive. No, he's not. It's Lawrence Welk. Did you get that? Anyway, that might have been a little bit too much. Listen to me. Everything changed with Bobby Kennedy Jr. Everything. Let me say it again. We go after them, this woke, whatever, through the Democratic Party, not through Trump, not through DeSantis, not through whoever. That's the usual. That's a CPAC crowd. That's Nowheresville, Daddy-O. Come on, Moondog. That's over. This is the way to go. This is the way to go. We can almost be like a political virus. You go into the Democratic Party and you start changing. Think of yourself as being an mRNA for the Democratic Party. All of a sudden you're saying, hey, let's push this. And you think, wait a minute. How did this get in here? Through Bobby Kennedy. He's a virus. He's nanotechnology. He just slipped in. You let him in because your immune system didn't stop him, because you recognize him as being a friend. He's not your friend. We did some tinkering on his external DNA and he just slipped right in. And now that he's in there, they're making copies of Bobby Kennedy. And people are saying, this just got interesting. And wait till you start seeing Republicans for Bobby. I'm a unifier. Remember, I'm telling you, it's not going to be perfect. There's going to be some stuff where you're going to say, invariably, you're going to say, okay, maybe I'll just hold my nose with this. Fine. I don't care. I've thrown a lot at you. From Diet to Ray Liotta to Bobby Kennedy to Biden crushing. As we speak, they're already saying, all right, that's it with Biden. That's it. We're done. Changing. We just changed the rules. We just changed the rules. These are the most exciting times. Ladies and gentlemen, I will not be able to be with you tonight. I will not be able to be with you at 7 p.m. I have an engagement which I will tell you about tomorrow, which you will find very interesting. But I always tell you after I do it, not before. And it's very interesting. But the good news is it's changing. The rules are changing. And it's not the Republicans who are doing it. Oh, no. It's the Democrats. That's how you do it. Weaken them. Change them. You want woke to go away? You want CRT to go away? You want CLS to go away? You want ESG and all this? I don't know where Bobby stands regarding world health. Well, we'll see. I don't care, because Republicans are nowheresville, man. We're going nowhere with that. That's just blather, okay? All right. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this. I'll be back tomorrow morning, okay? You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? This is a lot for you to handle. This is a lot. This goes against every single thing you've thought of. Well, guess what? Do you want to win? Do you want to be a guerrilla fighter, or do you want to go conventional? I want to win, period. All right, dear friends. See you tomorrow, same bad time. And thank you so much. John McGuire couldn't get higher. Thank you so much for your kindness, my friend. And don't forget, like this. We only have 208 likes, 209. We need more. I want more likes on this. This is the most dangerous podcast channel because it breaks every single rule. Because I want to win. I don't want to win as a Republican. I don't want to win as a Democrat. Parties mean nothing. I want to win. And this particular regime has to be liquidated, shall we speak, ideologically, peacefully, intellectually. All right, dear friends, see you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel, 8 a.m. Until then, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Ta-ta.